Hi, we are working on the formulas of geometry, and today we're going to just review the slope formula and apply it to the equation of parallel and perpendicular lines, and then we'll write equations of parallel and perpendicular lines I'm going to use the point slope formula. You can do it other ways, but I like the point slope formula for this. First, we need to just basically review slope. Slope is the change in y over the change in x, rise over run, and the formula for slope, m equals y minus y over x minus x. If you watched my other video, you'll know that a lot of people write it y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. It doesn't really matter if you do y2 minus y1 or y1 minus y2 as long as you're consistent with the x's, so that's why I leave them off, because I tend to be consistent. I'm going to make up a slope here just as an example. Let's say we'll have the slope 3/7 as our basic slope. We have a line, it's got a slope of 3/7, and we're going to show how that changes when the lines are parallel or perpendicular. Parallel lines have the same slope. So if you had a line that was parallel, I'm going to put the little parallel symbol there, it would have still a slope of 3/7. Perpendicular slopes are opposite reciprocals. Opposite reciprocal slopes. What that means is that if it was positive, it's going to be negative. If it was negative, it's going to be positive. And reciprocal means you're going to flip it over. So if you had a segment or a line that was perpendicular to 3/7, since this is positive, it would be negative. And then you're going to flip it over, 7/3. And that will result in a perpendicular slope. So we're going to look down here at these examples and decide whether the slopes are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. So we have this segment, WX, actually line, it has the line symbol up there, and that line down there. And I'm just going to do the slope formula twice so we can compare. For WX, we have the slope is y minus y, so 8 minus 11 over x minus x. -9 minus -2. Minus and negative is a positive, so I'm going to change that. 8 minus 11, I don't know why I did that in my calculator, is -3, and -9 plus 2 is -7, which is actually funny because I didn't actually mean to have the same slopes over here. All right, and if there are two negatives, it's going to be 3/7. Okay? For YZ, we're going to do the same thing. Y minus y, 4 minus -2 over x minus x, 10 minus -4. Now, if I did -2 minus, or -2 minus 4 on top, then I would have to do -4 minus 10 on the bottom. Just be consistent, whichever way you do it. Minus a negative is a positive, so we have 4 plus 2, which is 6, and 10 plus 4, which is 14. Always simplify so you can compare. 6/14 simplifies to 3/7. So if both slopes are 3/7, then these lines are parallel. I hope that makes sense. If you need more time to write it, pause and pause after each step, so you're not just writing down what I'm saying, but you're actually doing the work yourself. We're going to do this again for the next one. You're welcome to try that on your own, so if you want to do that, then just pause the video, try it, and check your answer with mine once you're done. If you need a little more instruction or examples, watch mine. All right, so we're going to check MN and OP. And I'm going to change color so it doesn't run into the next problem. Y minus y, 11 minus 11 over x minus x, -6 minus -5. Minus a negative is a positive. 11 minus 11 is 0. -6 plus 5 is -1. 0 divided by -1 is 0, so the slope is 0. Hopefully you'll remember as soon as you see that 0 slope means the line is horizontal like this. All right, let's check the other one. We have y minus y, -4 minus -4 over x minus x. Minus a negative is a positive. So we have 0 over -15, and that again equals 0. So these lines are parallel. Just as a side note, if it was perpendicular, the other slope would be undefined. So it would have been like 15 over 0 or something with 0 on the bottom. So 0 and undefined would be perpendicular. But since they're the same, they're parallel. All right, for this one, we're going to look at the equations to tell. We don't need to use the slope formula, but we do need to make sure the equations are in the right format. We want to make sure they are in y equals mx plus b form, and we're checking out the slope. This is called slope-intercept form. The y-intercept doesn't matter here. The slope is what we're looking at. So we have two equations. We have y equals 3x plus 1 and 6x minus 2y equals 10. This one is already in slope-intercept form. The slope is 3. This one we need to change from standard form to slope-intercept form. In order to do that, we're going to first subtract the x's. We want to move those to the other side. This should be review from algebra. I like to do -6x plus 10 to keep it in slope-intercept style, but it wouldn't matter if you switch them. Just do not combine them because they don't have like terms. And make sure you keep that negative with the 6. It doesn't go away. All right, now we're going to divide by the coefficient of the y to get the y alone. Divide everything by that. So y equals -6 divided by -2 is 3x, and then 10 divided by -2 minus 5. This slope is 3, and if the slopes are the same, they are parallel. I don't know why I have so many parallel examples, but hopefully this next one turns out perpendicular. Or neither. That would be fine too. All right, so I'm going to write these equations. Neither one is already in the right form. Okay, if you feel like you can solve these on your own without watching and then check your answer, you can do that. Pause the video. If you are still rusty on that, I'll go through these steps twice more so you get the point. We're going to move the x's. So 4y equals -10x minus 4. Divide by the coefficient of the y. Y equals -10 over 4, which I'm going to simplify right now. -5 over 2x. -4 divided by 4 is -1. So the slope is -5 over 2. That's -10 over 4 simplified. All right, this one we're going to subtract x from both sides. -20y equals -8x plus 60. Divide by -20. So y equals, this is going to be positive. 8 and 20 would be, let's see, we can divide them both by 4. So 2/5 x minus 3. We're going to check out the slope. These slopes are opposite, so this is negative, this is positive, and reciprocals, meaning 5 over 2, switch to 2 over 5, which means they are perpendicular. Okay, I'm going to stop this video here and then make a new video for writing the equation of parallel and perpendicular lines, since I know it's going to stop me in the middle. Bye.